In this video, we will learn about functions of operating system. In the previous video, we have seen that what is an operating system and what does an operating system do. So we have learned that an operating system works as an interface between a user and computer hardware. User cannot directly interact with the computer hardware, so it is taking the platform of an operating system. Whatever user gives the input to an operating system even does not directly understands it. So the user functions are converted into system functions, and then the system understands that what the user wants. The operating system cannot understand the functions which are given as an input by the user directly. So whatever functions the user gives as an input to computer system, those functions are converted into user function. Then the operating system will understand that what the user wants to say, and the same it will communicate to the underlying computer hardware. So here the user is giving an input to the computer hardware through operating system, that is print some information. Now this is a user function. So the user function has an associated system function that is known as a write. So this particular system function will be understood by the operating system, and then it will going to write some information on the output screen of a computer system. Now we will see that what are the functions that are performed by an operating system. There are basically 5 different functions which an operating system performs. The very first function is known as resource management. The second one is process management. Then it comes to memory management, storage management, and protection and security. Resource management. So what is resource management? For an operating system, not only the users but the underlying part of a computer system are resources. Now the requests that are given by the user are supposed to be handled with the help of available resources for an operating system. Now the resources are CPU time, memory space, file storage space, IO devices. Now what happens in the resource management? Allocating these resources to different programs and user is necessary. So there are different types of operations that the user wants to perform. Now in that particular case, what operating system does, it allocates the resources like CPU time, memory space, file storage space, IO devices to different programs. And in that particular case, it works as a resource manager, because it is providing the resources not only to the users but also to its own utilities. Now there are multiple users. So in this particular case, the operating system also needs to see for individual users to provide them the resources. So it works as a resource manager in that particular case. The second function of an operating system is process management. In an operating system, the process plays a very important role. In operating system, it is said that the process is a real thing and the program is a virtual thing. Now you will say to me that what you are saying, that the process is real thing, the program is virtual thing. Actually, when we interact with operating system, when we interact with some application software, let us say we are interacting with Turbo C. So while interacting with Turbo C, we are writing a program to display a message, hello world. And this is the program that we really see. And now what you are telling to me that the program is a virtual thing. Now yes, dear friends, in operating system, we will going to more focus on processes, because to run the program there are multiple processes that are running in the background, and these processes are actually taking a charge of your program to get executed. So it is said that the program is a virtual thing and the process is a real thing in an operating system. This is what we need to remember throughout this particular course of operating systems. So in process management, what does an operating system do? So it manages different processes which are running in the background, because as they are running in the background, there are programs that are getting executed in the foreground. There are activities that you are doing that are getting executed because in the background the processes are running. For example, you have opened some paint application. So this is an application program that you are supposed to use. Now to run that application program, there are multiple number of processes that are running in the background. So these processes needs to be managed by an operating system. So this becomes the major function of an operating system, that is process management. So in process management, what it does actually, the process management techniques includes that scheduling of the processes. What is meant by scheduling of the processes? I schedule my time for the day. We have a timetable. Through that particular timetable, we execute our lectures and practical in a college. In the similar fashion, the operating system also goes for scheduling of the processes. Scheduling of the processes, it means that arranging the process, allocating the processes one after another. Maybe removing the unwanted processes or the work that have been finished, removing the processes of that and allocating the processes of newer programs or applications. Creating and deleting both user and system processes. So there are user programs, there are system programs. If we need to run the program, we need to execute the processes. So those processes needs to be created. Once the work is done, deletion of those processes should happen. Suspending and resuming the processes. This is again an important process management technique. Suspending means for some time duration, let us keep that particular process in a queue. Suspending is not deleting of the processes. Once the application will be resumed, the suspended process can come in the running queue. Then resuming. So suspended process can be resumed. Then synchronization of the process. So synchronization of the process means, let us say we have 5 different processes: P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. Now, not only the scheduling of the processes is an important thing, but synchronization of the processes also plays an important role. In synchronization, what happens? It is about working with each other properly. Synchronizing is what? Working of different processes with each other properly. It means that, let us say, there is a resource. Now P1 wants to access it. In another case, P2 wants to access it. At a time moment, there should not be multiple processes, more than one processes, who wants to access a shared resource at a time. And that is what is known as synchronization of the processes. So at a time the P1 will access a shared resource. Then after the P1 have finished accessing the shared resource, the P2 will start accessing that shared resource. This is known as synchronization of the process. This is what is included in process management. And of course, communication amongst the process plays an important thing, because if, let us say, there are multiple processes, for example P1, P2, P3 wants to execute one task T1. So these 3 processes together are executing this particular task T1. What does it mean? That if there is a process P2 who is not getting communicated with P1 or with P3, then this particular task will not going to get executed. So communication amongst the processes plays an important role to perform some activity inside the. The third function of an operating system is memory management. In case of memory management, operating system manages the primary memory of the computer system, because we know that when it comes to fetching the data from the secondary storage to processor, the data is coming from the secondary storage inside the primary memory and in the form of memory paging, in the form of pages. So from the primary memory it is going to the processor. Now in this case of memory management, the main memory or the primary memory of an computer system, it is managed by an operating system. So what does it do in memory management? It keeps the track of which parts of memory are being used and by whom. So what are the different applications which are using the different locations of primary memory system? Those things are keep recorded in this particular memory management. In the second case, it decides which processes and data to move in and out of the memory system, and it also allocates and deallocates the memory spaces. So in case of memory management, actually the primary memory of the computer system is managed by an operating system. Now the second another aspect is storage management. Now you might be thinking that the memory management and the storage management looks similar, because it is about also memory, this storage is also about a memory. So what is the difference? So the basic difference is, in case of memory management, we are looking towards the primary memory of the computer system and managing that particular primary memory with respect to data and as well as with respect to processes. But in case of storage management, we are thinking about the secondary storage of the computer system. Means we are talking here in storage management about the hard disk, how we are storing the data on the hard disk, and this particular part is actually looked in the storage management by an operating system. So what is there inside the storage management? Let us say you want to create some information in operating system. So after creating that information, you are interested in storing that information in some form. Let us say you have created an audio, or in this particular case I am creating a video. You may create a text file, you may create an image file. So you are interested in storage, in storing that particular data in some unit. So what does an operating system do? In case of storage management, it uses a common format of storing the information of all the different types of information. So the common format is known as a file. So file management is handled in case of storage management. So what does it do? It creates and deletes different types of files. Then it creates and deletes directories to organize the different files. So when it comes to having files of similar type or dissimilar type, we group them in the form of in a folder. So that particular folder is considered as a directory. So in case of storage management, what an operating system do, it has to create different types of files. Then to organize the file, it needs to have directories, and to organize the directory, it may have variety of directories which are coming inside a single hard drive, or we may create a C drive, D drive, E drive in that particular case. So the storage management deals about that. Then it maps the files to secondary storage. Means what? Storing your data on the hard disk, because unless and otherwise you have created some data and it is stored on the hard disk, there is no use of creating that particular data. So mapping that particular file to secondary storage is also done inside the operating system through the storage management, and that is the basic difference between storage and memory management. It works on the primary memory, it works on the secondary memory. And the last function of an operating system is protection and security, which is very important. All the operating systems provide some protection and security from a variety of attacks that are happening on the operating system. So inside the protection, controlling the access of the processes or users to the resources. So let us say we have some resource. So for that particular resource, operating system controls the access for different processes and users. That particular resource will be limitedly accessed by maybe by the processes or maybe by the users, because we know that for an operating system there is a guest account, there is an administrator account. So why these accounts are there? Guest account have some limited privileges, but administrator account have some more privileges as compared to guest account. That is what is known as a protection. That is what is known as a protection. So it controls the access of processes or users to the resources, and that is what is known as protection. And in case of security, it defends the operating system from external and internal attacks. Thanks for watching the video.